Don't worry, the camera's not messing up, I'm just a very blurry person. There's been slow periods recently, and there's been a lot of blank spots recently, and there's been a lot of decisions, but one thing I'm not doing is drinking too much, or smoking too much, or making decisions like that, because I'm trying to work on new ways to deal with those problems, and it's a little bit new to me, but I'm trying. I used to have those outlets, and I used to use them and abuse them because, well, that was the only thing I had, and the only times that I had that is when depression kicked in. Depression's that feeling that tells me that I don't need to eat, even though I haven't eaten in 24 hours. Depression's the reason I lost 30 pounds. Depression is the reason why when I see two people holding hands or cuddling in a movie or a TV show or a commercial or two people going down the street together or somebody riding in the car with someone else, that I feel lonely, alone, and insignificant. Depression is the reason why I can't control this feeling. Depression's the reason why sometimes I always try to think about what my future's gonna be like, and depression's sometimes the reason why I think I'm not going anywhere even though I am, and it makes every step forward feel like a jump backwards, or even I'm falling off a cliff and the steps don't mean anything. Depression is a darkness. Depression is not an anger. Depression is not a hate or a rudeness. Depression's a pit. Depression is deep inside. Depression is not sadness. Sadness is not depression. Depression can be a lot of things. The one thing it's not is just typically sad. When I see somebody get hit by a car, I'm scared and then I'm sad. When I look out the window, I'm depressed. Depression also comes in waves, and more often than not, those waves are more like tsunamis that like to take out the neighboring villages and ruin all the fishing for a season. Right now I'm not in the middle of one of those waves, but damn it I was. For a little while I wasn't doing too good, and in those times I have the hardest time concentrating and actually getting anything done. Because it makes it feel like everything I do is a waste of time, even though it's not a waste of time, and it never really was to begin with, but there's not like a way that I can deal with it, it just happens. Depression is a sickness, and depression is clinical, and there's nothing I can do to stop it. I prefer not to be on medication, and I do a lot of things to try to keep myself from having it, but depression, like I said, comes in, and when you least expect it, it hits you as hard as it can. Depression's not here to help me in any way, and depression's going to be here to stay. When it happens, but when it's away, and I feel really good inside. When I do things that I enjoy, and when I make music, or when I'm with people, I'm not depressed. When I lay in bed at night, and when I can't sleep, and when everything I do makes me feel bad, and being on the computer makes me feel like less of a person, and not hanging out with my dogs makes me feel a little bit sick, and not being able to spend time with my mom, and not being able to go see friends that I haven't seen in a while. Changing plans in order to spend more time alone to think, and enjoying more time alone than I enjoy with people, and trying to do all these things alone. Alone is the key word. Depression is alone. Alone is not loneliness. Loneliness and alone do not go together. You can be lonely, but that doesn't mean you have to be alone. I can be alone in a room even though there's 100 people there. I can feel alone. That's part of depression. Like I said, depression is not sad. Sad is an emotion. Depression is a sickness. And I'm sick, but I fight it a lot. It's that moment when you turn 18 years old and go to a doctor, and one of the things they tell you is you have a severe case of the disease that's killing your mom. That's that moment you start to have depression again, regardless of what you did to fight it beforehand. It's that feeling you get when therapy isn't working anymore, and it doesn't matter who's there to help you and who's there to talk, because not a single person on this fucking planet knows how to help me. Because nobody can turn themselves into a pill that'll make me feel better once every 3 weeks or so. Don't try to help. That's why you can't. The days that you can, you want to help me, it's in the form of a greenback that you can send me and pay the bills. Those are that's the kind of help I need. And I'm not going to ask for it. It's stupid. It's the holidays. I just need to stay happy. I need to keep my head straight. I need to make sure everything's okay. I'm not poor. I'm not completely ruined. And everything's going to be alright. It's just going to be a slow, shitty, rocky road. But when the depression hits, that's when you can't handle anything. When the depression hits its hardest, that's when you feel like you failed. But when it's gone, you just play video games and eat food and do nothing. You make videos to random people on the internet and let them know a whole lot about you, even though they don't really know. But you guys know the most about me than anybody. You know why? Because I'm just talking to a camera. As much as I want to believe there's someone here exactly listening to me and what I'm saying, if there was another person in this room, none of this would come out. They would look at me different. And even if you watch these videos and then hang out with me, just don't talk about it. You can if I bring it up, But for the most part, this is me talking to everybody, not me talking to you. And I know who you are. Stay classy, YouTube. By the way, I hate the new layout, and as much as I don't like using YouTube right now, I'm going to continue to upload. I'm just going to kind of close my eyes and wait for somebody to make a Google Chrome extension that changes YouTube, makes it look better. Stay classy. Love, peace, chicken grease.